wait! There's more!
That'll make you jump out your seat and pay attention. So, we had the news break yesterday that the big Day of Reckoning card that will be taking place on the 23rd of December has landed on DAZN pay-per-view. I just want to start this off by saying I bet Eddie Hearn is smiling, grinning from ear to ear like a Cheshire cat, because he's been experiencing some rough waters over at DAZN for a while now. And yeah, arguably the biggest card in recent years has landed on DAZN, which, yeah, it's not his platform, but he is essentially the most high profile promoter on DAZN. And I'm sure he's been experiencing a lot of pressure from his corporate overlords to deliver a product and get subscriptions to DAZN. And I'm sure his corporate overlords are going to be very happy with this. But it's not just about them, it's about our happiness as well as boxing fans and consumers. But I think there is something to be happy about, because if you haven't seen, the prices for this card have been announced. And boy, oh boy, they're not looking too bad, I'll say that. The US and Canada, the pay-per-view will cost $39.99. The UK will cost $19.99, and the rest of the world will be $21.99 US dollars, but in the local currency. Not too shabby, I must say. Of course, I'm more familiar with the UK pay-per-view prices, and there's a sizable chunk that's been scaled back. With the US and Canada, I'm not too clued up, but I remember seeing... Now, if we have any viewers from the States, any listeners, I'm assuming that my channel is international, or anyone else who is more in the know. The US pay-per-views, I'm not sure if this is kind of a set thing in the US or whether it's just like Showtime, like every network has their own prices, but I remember seeing that you can buy two versions of a pay-per-view. You can buy standard definition for $79.99 or high definition for $99.99, which is crazy to think, oh, you want to watch the fight in 1080p, you got to pay an extra $20. You know, pay $100 total. It's crazy. But that was the situation. For this card, you Yanks only have to pay $40. Basically half the standard definition of a regular pay-per-view. So I don't think that's too bad. The UK, $19.99. Not a massive scale back, but considerable, definitely, because this was kind of the standard price for many years. I want to say from 2017, and then from 2017 to 2019, I'm pretty sure it was the Joshua Ruiz rematch. Bumped the price up from $19.99 or 95 up to $24.95, so it's like a £5 increase. And then last year, when Fury had that pointless trilogy with Chisora, pretty sure that got bumped up again to $26.95, which was real insult to injury. But we're getting it for 20 quid, and personally, sign me up. You know, I have no problem paying 20 quid for this card, because I've made it quite clear I think it's a great card. Could be better, yes. Could be a hell of a lot worse. This card, I think, is going to be a good time. I'm counting down the days to it. Very much looking forward to it in the lead up to Christmas. Yeah, man, bring it on. 20 quid, take my money. There you go. I was personally bracing because I saw how stacked the card was. I'm thinking, are these guys are they going to charge a premium? Are we going to see record high pay-per-view prices? You know, is it going to be an extra 50% on top of the regular price? Is it going to be double? Is it going to be even more? But then the news dropped. We're paying less than usual. So I'm more than happy with this. Of course, let me know what you guys think, because I know some people, they have an issue with paying for boxing. Me personally, I don't. The way I see it is, paying for boxing is just like paying for anything else in life. If you don't think it's worth your money, you don't pay. You know, you're not forced to. Yeah, you're going to miss out to some degree. Depends if you are a streamer or not, if you're part of the stream team, or whether you wait till the next day. But if you want to watch it live, which, yeah, it's a different experience, because you're watching it live, you're living the experience from a distance, but you know, you're there in the moment. But more or less, if you're not happy, If you don't think it's worth your money, you don't pay. You vote with your pocket. It's that simple. Vote with your wallet, rather. Yeah. I have a wallet. I don't keep cash in my pockets. I wouldn't advise that. But yeah, you vote with your pocket. You pay for what you want to pay for. You don't pay for what you don't want. It's that simple. I know some people have this kind of utopian view whereby they just think, oh, if boxing was restructured in a certain way, we could get free boxing, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think it works like that. Maybe once upon a time where fighters didn't demand as much as they got now and stuff, all these different variables, maybe we could get a load of free boxing. But, you know, you get some, well, boxing really isn't free. And I'm not going to get too, you know, microcosmic on this, but, you know, like, if there's boxing on regular Sky or regular TNT, you still need a subscription for that. And if anything, those are less available for most people. Like, if there's a pay-per-view on TNT Sports Box Office or Sky Sports or DAZN, I can just pay that one-off fee, watch, and I don't have to worry about anything else. However, when something's on regular Sky or regular BT Sport, TNT Sports as it is now, having to fork out, what is it, £30 a month for the subscription? I don't know. I've never paid for Sky or BT, and I wouldn't, because I don't think it's worth my money. You know, those regular fight nights, for me, those are hard to get hold of unless I want to pay for a Now TV pass and then a pay-per-view on top of that, something like that, or go to a pub. Even I hate pubs. I don't drink, so it's not really an option for me. I don't like that environment. Pay-per-view, as I say, I'm quite lenient with. I've missed pay-per-views, but I've also paid for lots of pay-per-views in the past. And I think people will always find nitpicks and issues. Oh, if it's $19.99, why don't they just make it $16.95 like back in 2016 or whatever? Well, you know, things could always be better. And you can always think and always focus on the things that could be better, or you could focus on what's in front of you now and see the good in it. I know a lot of people, this is a bit of a tangent, but they seem to have an issue with, you know, boxing in the Middle East, or even sport in the Middle East in general, because a lot of world championships in various sports have been taking place in the Middle East, different countries. People have this massive, like, moral and ethical stance on it, which is fair enough for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into it. But I haven't brought this up previously, but I don't have a problem with the whole Saudi backing, because let's be real, would the prices be this low if the Saudis weren't involved? Probably not. And arguably, the whole card wouldn't have gone ahead, or wouldn't be taking place on the 23rd of December without the Saudi involvement. So I see this as really only a good thing as a boxing consumer, because it sets a desirable precedent of, you know, big fights, big cards being made. And I look at the Saudis now. I don't know them. I don't know much about them at all, but they kind of strike me as genuine boxing fans, people who really love to watch boxing, who enjoy watching it, who love the atmosphere and the action and the event, and they want more boxing to happen, because in the UK and the US, the big time promoters over here have in large part been failing to make the big fights with big cards happen. And so these very rich and very influential high profile boxing fans have just chucked some of their money, you know, because I've known Arabs over the years who come from very rich families, and they do have that kind of mentality of, if I want something, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to chuck some money. I'm going to pay whoever needs to be paid, and I'm going to get what I want, be it in, you know, learning, in leisure, in business, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's just what we're seeing in boxing. I think is a good thing, because if we're getting this at the end of the year, there's no telling what we get next year. I mean, we've seen that Fury versus Usyk has been formally announced for the 17th of February. What else is going to come after that, you know? So I think it's interesting times, man. You've got some very rich, very influential people. And if the only barrier to getting these big fights and getting these big cards made is money, hey, bank on the rich guy to chuck some green paper at them, and then we can kind of kick back and watch the fights. Obviously, it's probably not going to go on like that indefinitely, but enjoy it while it's here, I think. And let's hope this is a bit of a paradigm shift in boxing, whereby big developments, big fights, big cards start to become a regular thing. Because boxing, yeah, it does ebb and flow, but there's a lot to be enjoyed in boxing right now. And this card, mate, that's one example. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. The card itself, of course, I know people have got kind of thoughts that they want to put forth regarding the fights and whatnot, whether you agree or disagree with the points I make. State your case in the comment section. And what do you think of the fight taking place on DAZN pay-per-view, and wherever you are in the world, having to pay that respective amount? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. For now, thanks for listening. I'll catch you in the next video.